Square Enix disappoints in the financial area, and Microsoft has a bunch of stuff that we're going to cover tonight. Let's get into the game news, kicking off things with a little bit of Fortnite. Here we've got the Epic Games newsroom says today the European Commission said that iPads will also need to comply with the Digital Markets Act. This is the thing that allows third-party app stores on Apple devices. And it looks like Fortnite will be coming to iPads pretty soon in the European Union regions, which is great. I mean, you know, the game was hugely popular on iPad before Epic played their hand and lost. Yeah, this was just yesterday over on X, which I thought was cool. It's cool that they're going to be pushing iPad. Like I said, it was popular, and you know, good for creators that maybe want to play on iPad as well. I just wonder if there's going to be a way to be like put your phone in Europe mode, and suddenly it now can like side load apps. I don't know. Maybe not. It's probably like regional, and it's probably like super specific. I don't know. We'll find out though, because like, what if you move? What if you immigrate? What if you're traveling? Will your phone not be able to run those apps because you're visiting the US? I don't know. All stuff that I'm sure smarter people than me have asked. People smarter than me have asked. Yeah, I can't even grammar. Anyway, let's move on to the next story. Star Wars Hunters. Did you guys forget about this game? I sure did. Gets a June release date for mobile and Nintendo Switch. This is from IGN. Star Wars Hunters, the free-to-play team-based battle arena shooter from Zynga and Lucasfilm Games, is set to be released on June 4th, 2024 on Switch, iOS, and Android. This game looked super cool when it was announced, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So getting a summer release, I mean, it's a great time to release something like this for free. A bunch of people will probably download it and try to play it. We will be playing it on this channel. We'll be giving it a shot, unless, you know, there's something obviously terrible with it or something. So I'm excited to see just what's in the pipe. The rest of the article talks about like some of the features and stuff that are coming at launch, which they have detailed the characters, full list of characters below, which, you know, this list is just the launch list. I'm sure they're adding a bunch of other things. But let's see, we got Sprocket, Amon Calamari Prodigy, Utuni, Jawa Scavengers, Zaina, Rebel War Hero, Graz, Wookiee Juggernaut, Skora, Rodian Sawbones, J3DI, Jedi Droid. That's weird. Aaron Tal, Mandalorian Vanguard, Reeve, Darkside Assassin, Sentinel, Imperial Heavy Gunner, Diago, Mira Luca, Sharpshooter, Imara Vex, Unrelenting Bounty Hunter, Slingshot, Droideka, Speedster, and Char, Trandoshan Trapper. So this should be cool. I could see this being Star Wars Overwatch. Let's just see how it plays out, though. I'm curious in the gameplay itself, but we'll see. It only being on mobile and Switch does have me worried. I would really hope for a PC and big boy console release. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's move on to the Square Enix story. Square Enix is courtesy of Insider Gaming. Square Enix says it will lose $140 million on canceled games. So let's read on. In a notice to investors on Tuesday, Square Enix says that its next earnings report will see a significant loss in money due to canceled games at the studio. According to the notice, Square Enix will report content abandonment losses of $140 million in its 2024 year-end earnings. This comes after the company's board of directors voted on March 27 to change its approach to the development of high-definition games with the intention of being more selective and focused in the allocation of development resources. Companies carefully reviewing its consolidated forecast for the fiscal year ended March 2024 to assess the potential for impact from the above or other factors. The notice reads, should revisions to its forecast prove necessary, the company will promptly disclose the same. So this comes from like, they go on to say Final Fantasy 16 sales were lower than expected, and then Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth underperformed, even though it did really, like, it did decent in its launch week. It just hasn't had the momentum, and I think a lot of it comes from these games are launching on a console exclusively, and you know, hopefully they don't abandon the PC releases altogether. We talked about a few weeks ago Final Fantasy 16 coming to PC. That's going to be big. That will boost the sales a good bit. If Rebirth had launched on PC alongside PS5, it would be doing much better. And I know the Xbox Series console sales are down overall, but I think not releasing there was also a big mistake. Staying exclusive to Sony for everything but the first part, I think it's just hurting them. That timed exclusivity for Final Fantasy VII Remake made sense. I just think at this point, Remake and the other two parts, Rebirth and then whatever the last part's called, should have been Rebirth, and the next part should have been multi-platform releases from the get-go. They shouldn't have done the exclusivity just because of where everything is, And yeah, it does cost a little more to port, make sure the certifications and everything, but it's also another platform. They could have secured some Game Pass money. They could have done some things to bolster these games at launch, and instead chose to go with exclusivity that I think it just cost them. Like I'm gonna be real, I don't think Square Enix should be doing platform exclusives. I think they should be a true third party and only publish everywhere. They should not single out one system or another. Now I could see not releasing on Switch because the games, these particular games probably won't run on Switch without major miracles like The Witcher or Doom Eternal, where it's like those impossible ports, as they've been called. How does that even happen? But it's interesting that these games have underperformed, but they've only released on one platform. Like, what did you expect? Final Fantasy is already kind of niche. It's very popular. It's one of the most popular RPGs of all time. Probably the most popular RPG. I don't know that for sure, but let's just say it is in the video game world. And it's not doing well. Well, I think it's just because people see Final Fantasy and just you kind of know what what to expect. And then, do people really want to invest that much time in it? I don't know. I want to play 16. I'd like to play the Final Fantasy VII Remake series. There's a lot I'd like to play, but I just don't know that I can invest the time in it, But that's neither here nor there, I guess. What I want to do, it's just interesting that they've adjusted their forecast and canceled games. Hopefully the Final Fantasy IX remake, remaster, whatever it ends up being, is not in that canceled list, because I think that will do really well. It'll be a multi-platform release and people will be very excited for it. So let's move on. All right, coming to Game Pass, I just had to include this because I thought it included a game that I'm very excited to play. But Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, I believe this is the remake, re-release, like the upgraded version. Kona, what is the word there? Hold on, let me scroll on. Kona 2 Brum, I don't know. Little Kitty Big City, which this was at the Nintendo Indie Showcase, and this game looked great. And I'm excited to play it. If you guys want to see it on stream, let me know in chat or in the comments if you guys want me to do this, because I definitely want to play this game very soon. I'm very much looking forward to Little Kitty Big City. And the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, which is a fantastic game. I think I got almost to the end of it. But I thought the newer Tomb Raider games have been really good. But I don't know. This is just some solid gets, but I was really more excited for the Kitty Cat game. And yeah, don't judge me. All right, I kind of forgot, and I didn't even try to cover it Monday. But 30 indie games were shown at the ID at Xbox Showcase, with one devastating omission. Here's what to expect in 2024. And then this is Windows Central's recap of it. We're not going to go through this whole article, but it was a bummer that Silk Song is still not out or shown at all anywhere. And we thought it was going to be at the Indie Showcase from Nintendo a few weeks ago. And then, then this launched and it's like, okay, is it going to be here? And it's still not there. So, hey, you know what? There's still just time to play the original Hollow Knight and enjoy that. So do that if you haven't already. I know I haven't. I've thought about streaming it just because it seems like it's a good game. There's too many games to stream. All right, let's move on to the trailers. I picked 6 trailers. They're all pretty short, of games that I thought looked really neat, but I don't know what's in the trailers. I don't know a thing about the game. I just thought the thumbnails looked cool and the art looked neat. So let's get to it. Why did the page not load? There we go. All right, so let's start with All You Need Is Help. This looks really adorable. And let's just make sure our browser is loud enough for you guys to enjoy the trailer as well. And I guess we can make it full screen. There. And we'll put it in theater mode. There we go. So all you need is help. Actually, this looks great. Is this like 4-player? Oh my gosh, this is gonna be adorable and frustrating. Does everyone just have like a specific shape that they're always stuck as? Looks like you get hats and stuff. Hats are a good way to make a good game. Yeah, tons of accessories. All right, looks cool. All you need is help. Help. This looks great. I want to try this. All right, coming soon, fall 2024 to Game Pass. That looked amazing. I'm definitely down for that. All right, Astor, Blade of the Monolith. Let's check this one out. It just looked really cool in the thumbnail once I clicked it. It's very colorful. Platformy, it's ticking all the boxes for me. This looks awesome. That combat looks good too. Ooh, I wonder. It just depends. If it says Souls-like, that's gonna turn me away from it. We need to try the crab game now that I think about it. But anyway, this looks great. I like the enemy designs. The moves and abilities look cool. Oh, that's nice. Big squish. What is this? A big spider? Okay. We got snowy region, purple poisony forest region, skulls. All right. The main character design looks good too. I think it looks good. Astor, Blade of the Monolith. All right, it's coming at the end of the month. Now, it doesn't look like it's hitting Game Pass, but this looks good. I'd definitely check it out. This looks like a good time. All right, next trailer. Stampede Racing Royale. Now, I thought this just looked interesting. And I'm here for a good time. It's a battle royale kart racer. So I think this will be fun. Oh yeah, that music though. Items always make a good kart racer. I mean, there's a reason Mario Kart stays at the top. These environments look good. And the courses look massive. I appreciate that. Okay. It actually looks pretty good. It looks like it's gonna be fun. I will definitely check this out. This could be a fun like mini game. Coming summer to Xbox game preview. So it's gonna be a preview, so that gives them an excuse for like not having a fully fleshed out idea and adding stuff as they go. Sumo Digital. Okay, so that's who I was wondering. Sumo Digital worked on the Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing games. All-Star Racing and then Transformed which were both fantastic racers. I wish the first one had been backwards compatible because it was really fun. Transformed is great though. You don't really need to play the other one, but that's completely off subject here. So this has got some good, like, strong development teams behind it. So all right, cool. I'm excited to check this out. All right, I think we have, I don't know how many we watched. Let's go to the next thing. Okay, Promise Mascot Agency. Now this one was just kind of like, what is this? So you see the T rating. I can't be, don't get mad that some of this is kind of weird. Like I am family friendly, but let's at least see what this is. T for teen. Yakuza legend. Entrusted with the future. The future stolen by force. Exiled in secret. To run a mascot agency. What is this dude doing? Recruit misfit mascots. Work as a team. Tofu versus normal size door. My gosh. Okay, this looks like it's gonna be hilarious and weird. I love stuff like this. Never mind, I take it back. I got too weird. That got too weird. You just launched the mascot. Is that like a finger, like pinky? I thought it was pinky because it was pink or pinkish, like flesh colored. I don't know, guys. That's super weird. Keeping promises in 2025. That was an experience. We definitely watched that together. All right, I think this is the last one, second to last one. Dungeons of Hinterberg. I've heard about this game, but I don't know what it is. So this is my first time like seeing the game. But I've been seeing this game name pop up in a bunch of different places online. Interesting. You have like a slime ball and then you can make like a power or slime cube, and you can like shoot an electrical orb to complete puzzles. All right, that's kind of neat. She's got a sword though. It's their combat. That looks cool. I'm all for puzzle solving, so that looked pretty cool. All right. And this is Farah, the Sundered Tribes, and then it says co-op gameplay explainer trailer. It's 2 minutes. Probably gonna be some talking.
Hi, this is Peter, the head of production at Massive Damage, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of our...
This just looked cool. Like, look at this.
If you haven't seen Farah before, it's a combination of co-op monster hunting, open world survival craft, and a tribal colony sim with a heavy focus on aerial mechanics. This is my village here. This is where I manage my tribe and where they craft all the equipment and potions and weapons.
Hey, pick that camera up. I want to see the whole landscape. Yeah, I don't want it down. I want it behind.
On a magical floating island, it's surrounded by friendly sky whales, but when I go to the underland below, that's when things get a little bit more interesting. The world of Farah is designed to be kind of a jungle gym for aerial mechanics. You can chain together moves of gliding and tethering to achieve really fast speeds, and it's a
This looks pretty cool.
See your friends zipping around you, soaring in the air like your fighter jets. But right now we're on a mission to track down a Groktuk egg, which we've located here. This is going to involve us fighting a large Groktuk, so you can see a little bit of how combat works. Our combat design also retains that aerial focus, so in addition to physical attacks, our monsters also attack you with elemental bullet hell style barrages, which sort of test your mastery of Farah's aerial mechanics.
Interesting.
In addition, you can also cling to the monsters and attack their different body parts, and even saw off craftable trophies mid-combat. But as I mentioned, today I am on a hunt for a Groktox egg, so while my friends have him distracted, I'm gonna go find it. When the time is right, I'll be able to hatch the egg, and I'll gain a new addition to my beast menagerie, who I can then bring into the Underland to help me out in all sorts of ways. So that's a little snippet of what makes up our game. If
Okay.
you like what you see and you want to find out more, give us a wish list and follow us at playfera.com.
It looks cool. It looks pretty cool. That's all I can say. I'm not big into Monster Hunter games. Dauntless was neat. Monster Hunter is pretty cool, but it looks neat. All right, let's go to our next story. This is courtesy of Polygon. Says sounds like the Switch 2 has Joy-Cons that attach magnetically, and then in their subheader here, backwards compatibility for both games and controllers reported too. These are the Pikachu and Eevee Joy-Con. They have nothing to do with this story, but okay. See, a pair of recent reports have suggested that Nintendo's successor to the Switch console, which we, along with everyone else, are calling Switch 2 for now, will have Joy-Con controllers that attach to the body of the device using strong electronically controlled magnets rather than a sliding rail system used by the Switch. Now, I've seen this rumor before, but it kind of picked up some steam last week, and I didn't necessarily want to cover it then, but I got to thinking, like, a magnet system to control, to hold the Switch on the Joy-Cons together or whatever, or onto the screen, that sounds very breakable, because the only thing I could think that like is strong enough would be like if you have like a 24-hour gym, there's a door lock, right, until you like scan in some places, or so, you know, like some doctor's offices have like magnetically locked doors and you can't like push through, but if you push hard enough, you're gonna just break the magnetic lock, if it's like mounted poorly or whatever. So I'm just wondering, like, does that sound like a good idea? But let's read on. The news was first broken by Vandal, a Spanish site with a fairly good track record on leaks. Oddly, it was then confirmed in a blog post by MobaPad, a third-party manufacturer of Switch peripherals and controllers. Vandal's sources were also manufacturers of peripherals and accessories, which, I mean, they're going to be ramping up production. If this thing's supposed to launch next year, they're going to have to get stuff made and like tested out this summer and then go to full production by the end of the year so that it can hit the shelves and there can be enough stock of the peripherals. That's one thing that's never, like, you're never short on. It's the third-party accessories. Those are always available, but it's because there's so much lead-in time, and it's significantly easier to make like a controller case than it is a whole controller. Let's just be real. Anyway, let's see. MobaPad's surprisingly detailed report says the new Joy-Cons use magnetic suction to attach the console through electromagnetic suction technology controlled by electric current. So electropermanent magnets, which have a strong magnetic field that can be switched on or off by a pulse of electric current, presumably the user would click a button to attach or detach the controllers. Interesting. So, I don't know. They said the new Joy-Cons are larger and feature additional buttons. New buttons on the left and right sides, perhaps to control the magnets, plus a new function button below the home button on the right Joy-Con. SL and SR buttons, the button surface L and R on Joy-Cons detached and being used as solo controller, are now made from metal, apparently, but okay, they're probably part of the magnetic lock or whatever. MobaPad also confirmed the HD rumble is still enabled through Alps dual-axis linear motors. And then they said the console is fully backwards compatible, which I find more interesting. Excuse me. MobaPad says the Switch 2's dock will use the same USB-C connection as the existing dock. Support 4K display resolution, feature minor changes in appearance. Confusingly, the company also mentioned the new dock having a damping bracket on the back, allowing for a greater range of adjustable angles, which sounds like it might actually refer to the kickstand on the back of the console itself, which would make sense. And then confirmed earlier reports, Switch 2 will have an 8-inch screen supporting 1080p resolution. It's all rumors. I don't really like commenting on rumors, but it's interesting that this is where we are. You know, we're just so hungry for Switch 2 news, and this sounds like the most believable things that we've seen, right? Like the dock offering 4K output, fantastic. A new way to lock the controllers to the system, also seems like a good idea because the rail system is neat but flawed. So, you know, let's see what happens. I'm excited. Hopefully Nintendo can give us something more tangible pretty soon. All right, our last big story, or last story of the night, I believe. We got one more. Xbox Games Showcase followed by Redacted Direct airs June 9th. I don't know why Microsoft always wants to do their big showcase while I'm at church, but I will not be doing a live reaction to this because it is while I'm at church on Sunday, June 9th. And I will not be able to do that. I will probably we'll just do a reaction on stream well after the fact, depending on how long it is, which I have not looked. But mark your calendars. Xbox Game Showcase will be live streamed on June 9th, 2024. A double feature last year with the Starfield Direct. Immediately following the showcase, we'll be airing a special deep dive into the next installment of a beloved franchise. We can't say much, so for now we're called the Xbox Game Showcase, followed by Redacted Direct. They go on to say, this will be our first showcase featuring games from a portfolio of studios across Activision, Blizzard, Bethesda, and Xbox Game Studios, in addition to titles from our third-party partners. So I'm hoping that we'll get some announcements of old Call of Duty titles finally hitting Game Pass. That would be the best for me personally. And then that leads me to the next thing. This little graphic here, the Redacted Direct, probably Call of Duty, Black Ops, whatever, which rumors here, our next story, excuse me, Black Ops Gulf War reveal teased by Microsoft for June 9th. And so Black Ops Gulf War has been in the works for a while. This is courtesy of Insider Gaming as well. Black Ops Gulf War has been in development for a while, and we've been getting rumors that it was coming out, in the next couple of years. Since I think 22, I want to say that Gulf War was like going to be the thing. I don't really remember when like the rumors really started, like heavy on it, but it would make sense. Do another Black Ops game. It's supposed to have classic Black Ops multiplayer maps, the round-based zombies mode returning, which that made Black Ops even better back then. And so we'll see. It's safe to say that we'll be seeing Black Ops at this showcase, whether that's Redacted Direct or not. We'll find out. But anyway, that's it for the game news. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. Be sure to comment down below. Sorry I went a little long. We had some trailers to watch, and I've just been trying to do things a little slower. I feel like I'm always rushing to get this done. But anyway, thanks for watching on YouTube. After the fact, if you're watching live on Twitch, let's get into some Zelda. And to everyone else that's watching this later, see ya.